Hello, this is The Way of Fairness. My name is Stephen Childs. This is the panorama from up Provo Canyon above where I live. That mountain is Timpanogos. It's around 12,000 feet high. The valley's about 4,500 feet, and it goes straight up from the valley. That's Cascade, and it'd be similar in elevation. So we're getting close to a 360 panorama all the way around. Utah Valley there. That faraway mountain is Nebo, and I think it's higher than Timpanogos. Not by too much. So there's like wind out here, so the sound won't be good. So I'm going to put it on pause and get in the car. So that's a view of Timpanogos from inside the car. I want to talk about a few different things. First, I want to talk about the God's will or superdeterminism. So if God's will is absolute all the way into the future, so God knows everything that's going to ever happen. He knows where every snowflake's going to fall. That kind of thing. And then superdeterminism is that kind of thing, but there's no God that causes it. Reality is just created complete right from the beginning, and all the future is already determined. Because we don't really understand what time is very well anyway. Some people say there's no time. Looks like a bird found my window. That's funny. I think it's funny. So I'm saying that Donald Trump is shithead fart man because he did me wrong. So it's personal. We take it personal when we have politicians do us wrong personally. Maybe Donald Trump needs to be thumped. Maybe all of his supporters need to be thumped. They've been telling me that I need to be thumped and that I'm fart man. So where I grew up, a lot of us believe turnaround is fair play. In fact, that's part of that's part of Fight Club. Turnaround's fair play. So if they're fighting me and we're having a crap fight, then if they throw crap at me, I'm going to throw crap back at them, right? So it's fun giving fart man crap. Donald Trump. It's really fun. So they used to say, wind him up. I'd get angry when they were thumping me and I'd get headaches. Telepathic thumping. It's really fun to thump back. It's like you use your mind to hit them in the head. Boom. And they'll get a migraine headache. Or they'll get something in their ear and putting the bug in their ear. Back at them. Wind them up. We're going to make them angry. They always say, don't make me angry. Well, that's why we're here. To wind you up. To make you angry. Because you have defined us as your enemy. I think it's important that we stay friends. So when I'm their enemy, according to their religion, it says in their book, in their scriptures, that I'm their enemy because I'm an atheist. Or I won't bow to Jesus or something like that. It's hard to bow to something that you do not think exists. Okay, let's go back to the God's will. God's will is that everybody lets a fart exactly when they let the fart and where they're at when they let it. That's God's will. Or it's superdeterminism, if you don't think there's a God. One of the Christian whatever, somebody involved in Christianity, famous philosopher or whatever, theologian, he said that farts are like a gift from God. They're something that is God's will, and we all have to put up with our farting around. And if you eat beans, you fart more. Basically, that's it. Okay, so we got that topic covered, or uncovered, or painted over, or glossed over, or something. So, maybe it's not superdeterminism. And maybe there's advanced extraterrestrials that have control of our future, and they can make a future happen for you and for me the way we want it to happen. And the other guys, they can go looking for pie in the sky all they want. But I don't see any pie in the sky. That pie in the sky came from Joe Hill, a famous figure in American labor, the establishment of unions. And he was saying, he was somewhat atheist, or he was criticizing religion. So the religions are promising us pie in the sky, but it's not there. They're just empty promises. A lot of people no longer use the scriptures. They're spiritual. They believe in God of some kind, their concept, but they don't read the Bible. They don't read the scriptures anymore because it causes them trouble, so they put it aside. There's a lot of people that, like myself, that grew up in religious families. Everybody was supposed to go to church on Sunday. For me, it was the LDS religion, Latter-day Saint. And I couldn't believe it anymore. After I was 13, I just didn't believe it. And so I have all this trauma. It's religious trauma syndrome. It's in the diagnostic manual. DMS-5, I think it is nowadays. There was a time you couldn't criticize the religion at all, or it would be called blasphemy and you'd get stoned to death. So, turnaround's fair play. And I had an English teacher in high school that taught us vengeance is a dish best served cold. Like if you're still angry, it's not wise to do anything about it. So, I just heard telepathically from that car that went by, from these other entities that can do that with our minds. They have access to our minds. And it's what it said, as if it was him. Punch him in the throat. Recently, I've made some posts or a video about help me figure this out by comparing notes. Are you guys hearing the same kind of telepathic messages? Like punch him in the throat, thump him, wind him up, name calling like fart man, or here's mud in your eye. That's another one. Here's mud in your eye, and then we get all this dust in our eyes. There's something going on with tooth pain, because I was getting this really quite painful tooth pain, and it was various teeth, no place specific. And I was listening to Keith Olbermann, and one of the jurors on the Donald Trump court case, they had to have an emergency break for him for a dental problem. And Oberman says this teeth pain is going to get a lot worse. So it's like I'm trying to get the pain to go to my enemies, the enemies of me. I want everybody to stay friends, even though we're in disagreement. See, if you're in a religion that won't let you disagree, and you do disagree, and you're a child, and your parents won't let you disagree, you're traumatized from it. Because all that has to go inside you, and you can't. You have to play like it's not hurting you. That's trauma. Traumatization from a religious dogma that is abusive to free thought. I think we should take a break and look at the mountain for a minute and just be silent. That's Utah Lake above Provo. I'm above Provo and Orem. Well, the enemies of me, they're authoritarians. And some of them are policemen or sheriffs. Recently, the news has been on that there are gang deputy sheriffs in LA, and it's a problem. So, see, this is a sign that something's wrong with our system. When we start having people being vigilantes, so the sheriffs are like, deputy sheriffs are like vigilantes within the sheriff's department, and they said that they were putting dead rats on people's lawns, like they're going to kill the rats. Like, keep your mouth shut or you will have a horrible experience. So they're trying to silence us. That's another thing I keep hearing that I'm wondering if other people are hearing this also. Shut up. We want you to shut up. And they're talking or thinking the thought and telling us to shut up or to stop thinking about the issue, so they can continue to be authoritarians over us. They're trying to defeat us. And that's what's going on with the Trump election and the insurrection. So they're already turning on Trump. They'll just throw Trump under the bus, and the authoritarians, he got them as far as they got with Trump, and then they'll discard him. So there's no particular boss of the thing, you know what I mean? It's an ideology. And I just learned the other day that they have a category called neoliberals, and Ronald Reagan was a neoliberal. So his ideology was that you deregulate and give all the market, the capitalistic free market, you take all the regulations off of them, That's liberal politics to do that, I guess. So the MAGA people are neoliberals. Weird. That's why you need to find out what they're really talking about. Let's see. So I'm hearing like I'm not allowed to go, or somebody, don't go to Salt Lake. You can't go to Salt Lake. And it's telepathic. Not allowed in Salt Lake City. Who, me? Because I can go to Salt Lake City right now. And so then there was this telepathic threats against me. I think it's against me. See, they never show up in person to clarify, are you really talking to me? So it makes you think they're cowards because they won't show up in person. If you're going to kill me, why don't you show up, get your goddamn gun out, and shoot me right now? Do it. See, then you really know they're cowards because they don't dare do that. When I was young, I learned that if you're in the right, you never lose a fight. And if you're in the wrong, you never win it. I think there's a lot of truth to that. So we don't need some God to give us rights. Do you understand me? We assert that we have the right to make choices ourselves. What do you mean we have the right? What does it even mean to have a right? It's just something we do. We choose to do it. We choose to stand up to the people that are oppressing us. I suppose so that our society runs smoother with less conflict. These choices we make to be free, these choices we make to stand up to people who are oppressing us or accusing us of things, the government defines that as having a right to be free, a right to stand up to your oppressors, a right to petition the government. See, this is something we choose to do on our own, and so that the same problems don't keep happening over and over again, the government defines it as a right of the people. So we have the Bill of Rights. The things that have been defined as rights came from we the people forming an alliance of individuals that are independently standing up for themselves. We don't have to be part of a group to do this. We can act independently. That's the way team fairness is. We're all independent people agreeing to do the third step, the 3-step fairness agreement, and to support the World Fairness Agreement so that we can get these religions to stop causing wars. And we can get these governments that have been established with those religions to stop causing poverty. So I'm going back to the reality is either God's will or it's superdeterminism, or maybe it's higher power, very advanced extraterrestrials that know we have to stay hidden from malicious aliens. They're also in our reality. We have to hide from them or get enough power from the more powerful group that I'm with that they don't mess with us anymore because we have more power, and they can manipulate what happens in the future. So the future hasn't been determined in this scenario, that they control where it's headed, God, in a godlike way. So they can make people's teeth hurt really bad if they want. They can make you have pain in your arm or your neck, like somebody sawing your head off. And then it's like a free-for-all. They're letting things work out however they work out. So they're not going to stop authoritarians, tyrants with authoritarian followers. They're not going to just paralyze them all, make them all blind, make all their teeth fall out, give them cerebral hemorrhages. They're not going to do that. But they do support when I ask for help, and I agree to be fair, and the only time I'm dishonest is if it's to protect somebody from unfairness, including myself. So there's times when lying is the appropriate thing to do to save someone's life from some person damaged by authoritarianism to the point where they're out of their gourd with automatic weapons in grocery stores and churches, rock concerts, country western concerts. People are running their cars into buildings and killing people lately. This distress that the humans are having is caused by unfairness that's happened to them throughout their life. Like Donald Trump, their motto in their family was do whatever you have to do to win. It's better to kill than to lose. So that's the motto Trump grew up with. And the reason Trump family became that way is because of unfairness to them. I've recently been going to some Codependent Anonymous. I was introduced to it years ago before me and my first wife divorced. Our marriage was based on alcoholism. And because of all this religious trauma syndrome and this unfairness to me, I became bipolar. I'm arguing that I wouldn't have became bipolar if I hadn't have been in trauma. So I'm arguing that they caused it. The authoritarians caused it. So I'm still their friend. See, this is where the power of forgiveness, not Christian style, way of fairness style, where it's more like a business deal. We agree to stop doing you wrong if you'll agree to stop doing us wrong. We agree to forgive all your past harms that you did to us and vice versa. We'll forgive those harms you did to us, and you'll forgive those harms that we did to you. And the third step is we won't hold the past against you. We don't care what you did in the past. We won't even try to find out. It's forgiven. And it's secret. So we're forgiving you. That's the power of forgiveness. And it's like, wow, there's hope. I got a way to get through this thing. This is going to work. We just have to look out for the government now. Because the people are not going to be causing us any trouble. When we get everybody to do the 3-step fairness agreement, and then immediately after that, we can do the World Fairness Agreement, and within a day or two, all the military wars that are going on, they've all received the news, the war's over, come home. And it will happen. I don't know why it is, but these here animals on planet Earth, which humans are one of them, they have crap wars. Horses do, and humans do. Monkeys do. So imagine, is it God's will that you have to eat crap because we're giving you crap? Team Fairness is giving you crap in return for you giving us crap, and it's your God's will that you have to eat the crap. What? You must be on the wrong team. I'm not eating any crap. I'm not smelling anything bad. Denmark smells fine to me. Have you ever heard that expression? Something stinks in Denmark. I don't know why they picked on Denmark. I don't know where that came from. So I should apologize for offending Denmark, I suppose. Yeah. I mean it in a positive way for Denmark, to benefit Denmark. Yeah, something stinks in Provo, Utah, too, in Orem, too. So you better be careful. Have you heard that lately? Either telepathically or verbally. Be careful, because this guy over here's got he's the shit. And he'll give you shit. Be careful. Or that woman over there, she can give you shit, too. And then do you hear this thought? I want you to smell it. I want you to smell me. That's been going on too. Interesting. And then they've been saying that I have a messy ass. That my butt stinks. And it's a lie, because I just showered. I just cleaned up thoroughly. And like I'm on a walk the other day, and the thoughts was happening. I want you to smell it. And somebody's with me, and he's like, you don't smell bad. And then I didn't tell him to smell it. Something else did. Some other communication in his head. So then somebody said, I heard Dan, another person said, I want you to smell it. And this guy with me, like, whoa, that's stinky. So it was his butt that stunk, not mine. And I was being blamed for having the stinky butt when actually it was someone else. That's not fair. So I grew up in this religion that told me Jesus is going to take care of me and everything. Just ask him and he'll protect me from evil. And then I don't even believe that guy existed anymore. So who's going to protect me from evil? Me. So if what you're doing is not working, and you're getting crap, or you're getting mistreated, they're doing you wrong, they're making you angry, they're hurting you, they're betraying you, they're traumatizing you, they're abusing you, then give yourself permission to do everything you can possibly do to stop them from abusing you. And that's what we're doing independently. And so a group of independent people have joined Team Fairness or the Church of Fairness. And the boss, see, it's not a person, it's fairness. The boss is fairness itself. That's what rules us. The measure, the ruler, the rule is fairness. It's not a king or a queen. There's another thought meme, or you hear it verbally or telepathically, that it's a threat that you will be raped. I heard telepathically, the female says, okay, rape me. And if actually that's consensual sex. if I tell somebody to rape me, it's not a rape, it's consensual. But maybe she was attacked, threatened, to where she agreed to that. But what I was thinking is, if a woman said, I got raped, but she really didn't, then that's a good, if somebody accuses her of having sex, she can say, I got raped. But actually, she wanted to get raped. You see what I'm saying? That's not rape. So in the scriptures that I grew up with, I gave myself permission to actually think for myself what it meant. And I heard on a program by Joseph Campbell, The Power of Myth, he was talking openly about how horrific Deuteronomy is, for example, in the Bible. And yet he's like, I'm a believer. Yes, I'm a believer. I wasn't a believer at the time. I was an atheist at the time. But I understand mythology, and I understand fairy tales, ethical stories, and I understand connecting to some form of intelligence that gives us knowledge. So when I heard of Gnosticism, I was drawn to that. And I have had a connection with other beings my whole life. It doesn't mean it's God. It doesn't mean there is a God. So I struggle with the atheists that are skeptical. They're against any kind of telepathy. They're against any kind of subjective experience. And we all have subjective experiences. Our experience is 100% subjective. It's dreamed up by our brain. So we're not experiencing the objective world directly. We're making up a map of it, but it's not the territory. A few days ago, I got the idea that there are Mormons that are Luciferian type. And then other Mormons are Christ Mormons. So they have a different ideology. The Luciferian, it's not about what's actually true. It's about winning the game or the war. So last night, I'm being given information telepathically that Team Fairness is working. And I got my address straightened out, so my mail will go to the P.O. box that's in the contacts, so people can mail me money orders or checks if they have an issue with any of the other systems. I'm wondering if I've been robbed of money donations, because I haven't received any. I received some years ago from Australia on the PayPal on the blog website. So this is great news. I'm hearing that the pendulum's has made its swing, and now the Mormon Church is joining Team Fairness, and if they did officially from the presidency of the church, they would be looked on very favorably as a good religion that's trying to do something about the harms that has been handed down to us in religion. It's kind of like Joseph Smith could see this as a problem, being under the thumb of somebody else in these religions, and so he's directed, I think, by the same beings that I'm directed by. And at that time, there was no way to do a World Fairness Agreement. We didn't have smartphones yet. And see, the communications was very slow. So you could not have done this that we can do now. So maybe they will have some inspiration from the divine to help me make the World Fairness Agreement happen as soon as possible. People are dying. Thank you.